What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back to another video. I am currently on page 290 something of this book that I'm reading called Americana. It's definitely taken me a while to read this book. The other day, I just read this part that caught me so off guard that I didn't even expect it at all. Basically, to give you a quick rundown so far of what I read, the main character of this book, named Ifemilu, she was originally from Nigeria. She moved to the States, to look for better education, better job opportunities. She found this job as a babysitter for this family in the East Coast. And through her job, she found her partner, who lives in Baltimore, where I used to live. A few months later, she moved from Philadelphia to Baltimore to be closer to him. And guess where she got her apartment? Charles Village. Now, to anybody else, the name Charles Village probably doesn't ring a tone, but that's actually the exact place where I lived when I used to be in Baltimore. Imagine you live in a town, right, for a while. You get to really know about the city, and then one day you read a book, and somehow the name of that town shows up in the book. Isn't that crazy? It was super accurate too because there was a part where she and her partner, they would go outside to walk at night, and one of the streets that they talked about was Charles Street and what was it? University Parkway. So that's actually the part where I used to film one of the vlogs. I'll actually show it on the screen right now. This park was at the very intersection between Charles Street and University Parkway. As if that's not crazy enough, a few pages later, Ifemilu found her old friend from Nigeria at this mall in White Marsh, which is a city that's a little bit east of Baltimore. I was at this same exact mall because one day I had a job interview for this hospital called MedStar. And then after the job interview, I was thinking about getting my car maintained in that city as well. So to get some lunch, I just went to this restaurant in that mall in White Marsh. Reading this part of the book made me reminisce about like all the memories that I made when I was living in Baltimore. There were certain things too that they talked about that I did not get to do when I was in Baltimore. I don't even know if it's actually a thing. They talked about how there's a farmer's market under the bridge. I've never heard of anything like that when I was living in Baltimore. For the most part, it's pretty accurate to me. The way the author described the city of Baltimore, I feel like from my experience, the image that I had in my mind matches the image that they have in this book. I'm basically halfway through this book now. I have probably 250 more pages to read. But yeah, super interesting book so far. Who would have thought that, the place where I used to live would show up in a book? It's almost as if I'm supposed to be reading this book at this exact time. Like it's a sign from the universe that, everything happened the way it's supposed to. Thought I saw an angel in LA. Yeah. Thought I saw an angel, and I've been to the water, and there's no water to take. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first time I've seen a trail incorporate a whole neighborhood into its walkway. Look at this one. Just these lovely houses as you're walking through the trail. I guess this is still technically a trail, but you're also walking through somebody's neighborhood at the same time. They even got a greenhouse in the backyard. I know whoever's living here is having a good time. I walked through so many rich neighborhoods just now. Let me show you all what the trail looks like. So I started from here and I made my way across. That's where all the rich houses were. And then now I am basically halfway through the trail. So I'm just gonna keep going to see what else they have. Today's actually the perfect day to come out here and hike. It's not too hot. You got the wind blowing in your face every once in a while. The sky is blue. The birds are chirping. What else can you ask for? Also, as you're walking too, there's a whole golf course to the side. I always think this about golf courses. They're basically the premium versions of parks. Every time I drive through a golf course, and I thought that it was like a park that I can go in, just to be disappointed at the end when I find out that it's a golf course. I have a proposal that they need to close the golf course and make it a park for 2 days out of the week. Because not everybody is gonna be playing golf every single minute of the week, right? So why not, for 2 days of the week, allow people to just walk in there for fun, and then the rest of the week, make it a golf course. Wouldn't that be a good idea? You see how soothing it would be if I were to just walk through this path? The grass is super well cut. The trees are super beautiful. Oh my goodness. Somebody needs to make that happen. If you have a place that is like that, please let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of hikes, I just thought about this. This is the year where I've hiked the most of any year that I've ever been alive. And then also the year that I've read the most books. I think this is just the year where I just do things that makes me happy. You know, I'm not thinking about anything else other than, you know, if this makes me happy, then I'm gonna go do it. All right, just came back from lunch. I had a very heartwarming type of morning, especially walking through that 3 mile trail. Something about that trail just made my heart feel full. The thing that I love about hikes is that it allows you to experience some sort of introspection, where as you're walking through the trail, you're also learning about yourself while you're at it. And I only feel that way whenever I go on hikes, but not when I'm at home. It's kind of interesting. Because I was the only person walking on the trail with all that silence surrounding me, It allowed me to really think about how I've been doing these past few weeks while also fully immersing myself into the environment. I like places that makes me feel that way. I find it very peaceful, very therapeutic. With that said, I think that's going to bring it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. Stay tuned for the summer videos. I know we're slowly approaching summer already, which is kind of crazy that it's already like halfway through the year. If you would like to check out my other social medias, I'll leave them down in the link in the description below. Otherwise, I hope you guys have the best day today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!